learning all the different tools that we gave you, and really doing a great job of applying them in game situations. And to me, that's very important, because you can learn all you want, but if you can't apply it in the game, it's worthless. You understand? Kind of like, you can do all the homework in the world, if you can't pass the test, what does it matter, right? Right? Now, first of all, who knows what today is? Martin Luther King Jr. Day, right? Okay. Someone tell me who he was. Right? That's your good answer. He is a famous man, yes, with a famous speech. That's good. That's a start. Okay. One of his famous or most famous things is "I have a dream," right? Okay. Let me ask you, what was Martin Luther King's dream? Abby, let me give you a chance. Okay, that's a good start. For at that time, hold on. At that time, black and white people weren't really agreeing on things too much. Very good. A lot of things were segregated. That means, we'll look at this right now. Look around here. We would not all be training together if it was like it was before Martin Luther King. Does that make sense? And guys, it really wasn't even just a black and white thing. It was, it was everybody. None of the races were really getting along. Does that make sense? Whether white, Mexican, Chinese, black, whatever. Okay? So, Martin Luther King was a big advocate, was a big promoter of everybody being equal and coming together, right? Would everyone agree with that? And that was part of his speech, the "I Have a Dream" speech, right? He had a dream that one day this would be happening. That kids and people of all races, of all colors, and it didn't matter what it was, could come together and enjoy life and enjoy this country for what it was. Right? Would you agree? Okay. Now, when I made this camp, I did this last year, this is very important to me. I'm a big fan of Martin Luther King. I'm a huge fan. One, because I believe in the same thing he believed in. I believe we all should be able to get along, come together, with things like this, right? I thought it was pretty cool that this camp was better because we did all come from different backgrounds. Does that make sense? We should all be paying attention right now, okay? So, I'm a big fan of that, but here's another thing I'm a big fan of. Back then, there was a lot of people who wanted the change that Martin Luther King did. There was a lot of people who wanted everything to be equal. But, did everybody stand up and make a difference? Did everybody take action? No. Okay? So Martin Luther King was a leader, right? Yes, ma'am. He was brave, is that what you said? You're absolutely right, especially during those times. Okay? He was brave enough to take action. He was brave enough to get everybody to come together and move towards making a difference and finding a solution to this problem. Does that make sense? Okay? And I think leadership is very, very important. You look at, let's look at the Spurs. Okay? Who's the leader of the Spurs? Yeah? Tony Parker and Tim Duncan for the most part, right? They're the leaders. So what do? What makes them the leaders? Okay, they're positive with the team, right? They lift the team up. Luke, you want to answer? They're smart on the court. They know what their job is, right? And they make sure they do their job. Okay. Anyone else with anything? What else makes Tony and Tim leaders? What else? What about this? When the game's on the line and somebody needs to step up, who usually steps up? Tony or Tim, right? Okay. So basically what I'm trying to get with you in here, guys, is I want you to understand, one, what a leader is, because all of you have the potential to be one. Okay? And in your life, you're going to have a lot of opportunities where someone's going to need to be a leader. So why not understand what it is to be one and be that person? Does that make sense? Everyone needs to be paying attention. Look, I know this is the most exciting topic, but this is about you. I'm giving you more tools for your toolbox. It may not be a crossover, it may not be a jump shot, but this is going to carry beyond the basketball court. This is going to carry over to when you're older and you're a parent. All your parents are very good leaders. They lead you, they help you lead your life to the right spots, right? They got you here today, so they must be doing something, right? Right? Okay. Leadership's important. It's very important. You're going to be at jobs. You're going to be on basketball teams, other sports teams. Somebody's going to need to be a leader. And when there's a lack of leadership, guess what usually happens? Things go wrong, or things don't change when they're bad. That make sense? Things were bad, so Martin Luther King stepped up and was a leader to change it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me ask you, just in your own opinion, what is leadership? What's a good definition of it? Matt? Okay, I think that's a part of it. I'm trying to look for a more targeted answer here. What is leadership? Okay, I like that. Has a strong belief system, has a vision where they want to go. I like that. Okay, they have faith in it. Okay. Well, let me say this. Hold on. We'll go ahead. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Let me ask you this though. Let's say I have a dream. I have a dream that all of you are going to put on 200 pounds of muscle by tomorrow. It's a silly dream, but just stay with me here. Okay? If I don't influence you to believe that, is it going to happen? Okay? So really, leadership is influence. It's influence. Do you feel that I have any influence on you? In what way? Basketball, maybe a little bit of discipline, things like that, right? Okay, so I influence you. So would you consider me maybe a leader of you guys? Okay. Would you say that Tim and Tony influenced the rest of the Spurs? Okay. So when it really boils down to it, leadership is really the influence. Because you can have a dream, you can have a vision, you can have this, but if you don't influence other people to follow with you, you're not a leader. Does that make sense? Okay. What's the best way to lead? What's the best way to lead? Fair? That being a motivator, I think so. We're looking for a little something different though. Okay, be positive, that's good. Looking for something a little different though. Okay, well, let's put it this way. There's two ways we can lead. We can lead by I'm just telling you to do it this way and I don't do it, or I can lead by doing it myself and showing you. What do you think's the better way? Showing. So leading by example. Does that make sense? Now, let me help you understand something. Tim and Tony, they lead their team. So fourth quarter, they're down by 5. They lead by going and getting buckets. They lead by going and playing defense. But there's more to it. They lead by staying calm. Who's ever been nervous in a situation down by 5? Okay? But you know the right things to what? Stay calm, right? So leading is everything around it. When they get off the court, how they carry themselves, they're still a leader. Because think about this. If Tim and Tony are great guys on the court, and then they get off the court and they're just jerks and they tell Mommy to shut up and I hate you and I don't like you, how long are those guys going to follow them? Not very long. They'll probably stop following them on the court. Would you agree? Okay? So when you influence someone and you lead them, it's all the time. It's not just in one isolated area. It's everywhere all the time. That make sense? Leading by example. How you carry yourself. Okay? Let me ask you something. Do you think Tim and Tony were born leaders? Just poof, they're in the world, all of a sudden they're a leader. No. It's something you work at. It's a skill. Just like you're dribbling, just like you're shooting, things like that. That make sense? So for you, if you have a desire to be a leader, which I hope you should, it's something you want to work at. How you carry yourself. Your skill. The fact that all of you are here right now, you are a leader for your team because you're looking for a way to get better and lead that team. Does that make sense? So it is a process that you always want to build towards. Does that make sense? Don't think you just decide, hey, I'm a leader today, wake up tomorrow and you're a leader. Okay? You've got to always look to better yourself. Find ways to build yourself. Does that make sense? If you know, and let's just look at it. We said